Two teams separated by just 15 miles clash for a state championship tonight in Hewitt, Texas. It's the Bishop Lynch Friars versus the Bishop Dunne Falcons, and it's coming your way next from Panther Stadium. And good evening, everybody. We welcome you to Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas, site of the 2016 TAPS Football Championships. Tonight, the Division I title will go to either Bishop Lynch or Bishop Dunne, both teams from Dallas. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tom Franklin. Alongside is Jeff Power, and this is the highlight of TAPS weekend. The final game, the Division I title is on the line, and it's a backyard brawl.
Absolutely. Chuck Falsetti's the head coach of the Friars. Actually has NFL experience, drafted by Bill Parcells and the New York Giants. He even played for the San Diego Chargers. Michael Johnson, he played over at Louisiana Tech. He's actually an alum of Dunn.
So there you have it. A lot of neighborhood rivalries going on in this ball game, and a lot of familiarities between these two teams as well. We take a look at them. We have an outstanding player for Bishop Lynch. He's an all-around, do-everything Reggie Bush type, according to his coach. His name is Jared Broussard.
Yeah, let's talk about Jared Broussard. What a sensational player all the way around. Punt returns, kickoff returns, running back, does a little bit of everything. Mainly lines up as a receiver, 830 yards receiving, 708 yards rushing. He's been fantastic.
Not to be outdone, Dunn has their own kind of running back. He also wears number 3, and he also gets the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Butler, 1,328 yards rushing. There's going to be a lot of good groundwork tonight because it's raining out here.
Well, it's been an off and on rain. No telling what we're going to get, but it is the start of December. We're supposed to have chilly nights and inclement weather. This is what we've got. We've got the opening kickoff coming up from Panther Stadium here in Hewitt, Texas, between Bishop Lynch and Bishop Dunne. The Division I TAPS title is at stake. Coming up next. Well, the Friars are going to receive. So Lynch is going to go on the offense first in tonight's ball game. Both teams enter with records of 8-5. Both finished the regular season of 5-5 and just snuck into the playoffs. But somehow, Jeff, when business time got here, the second season, both teams were equal to the task.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, Lynch was actually 4-5 and needed that win really just to kind of make sure they got into the postseason. And they've been playing much better here in the playoffs. And let's face it, these two teams always play tough competition in non-district play because they know when it's all said and done, it's about the playoffs. It's about getting ready for district play, of course. And you got to play tough teams. Not everybody wants to play Bishop Dunne and Bishop Lynch.
Bishop Lynch winning in the quarterfinal in the first round with a win over St. Thomas of Houston, 42-23. Then they beat St. Joseph Academy of Brownsville, 62-28. And then got by the defending champion Prestonwood Christian team, 48-43 in the semifinals last week to make it to the title game. Meanwhile, Bishop Dunne advanced with a win over Liberty Christian, 29-7. Then Central Catholic, 35-0. And finally, last week in the semifinals, a nail-biting 23-18 win over St. Pius, which had been ranked number 1 among the TAPS schools to get here to the championship game. So for Bishop Dunne, Tucker Littleton's going to kick it away. And we are underway with a short pooch kick near sideline field to the 31-yard line and immediately going down. Great special teams coverage by Bishop Dunne, and fielding that ball was Ryan Corcoran. So now we take a look at the Bishop Lynch offense. And their quarterback is Jagger LaRoe, 6'3" junior. On the season has completed 59% of his passes for 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And he wears number 7. He'll come out with Jair Moore as his running back. Moore on the season, nearly 1,400 yards and 27 rushing touchdowns. They give it to Moore around the right side. And he'll get across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and here's the starting lineup for that Friar offensive line. Juak Ngoe, the vocal leader of that bunch up front at the tackle spot. Then your specialists, you see Moore and Mask. You're going to see both of those guys run the ball a lot. He's not listed there in your starting lineups, but he's the guy we told you to watch for. And watch for number 3. He's going to line up in a bunch of places. He can be a running back. He can be a slot back, a wide receiver, even some wildcat. And you see him in motion there, and that was Broussard. Instead, the handoff is to Moore, and Moore's going to have a first down as he dives forward to near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, good-looking run right there. Move those chains. That's the idea right off the top. Got a lot of big defensive linemen up there. There's some collisions going on from that offensive line as well. You just got to find your space and squirt through.
Pick up of 8 yards out to the 44-yard line. New set of downs for the Lynch Friars. More to the left shoulder of LaRoe. Feed it to him again. This time they've got him right in the hole. He'll get forward for a yard, maybe 2. Now time for the defense for the Bishop Dunne Falcons. 3-man front with Favorite, Jones, and Daniels. Then the linebackers, Haley is a very, very good one, along with Kepera. And in the secondary, Brian Williams with 11 interceptions on this, 8 interceptions on the season, correction. Second down and 8 for Lynch. LaRoe feeds. And this time it's Mask who's loose on the near sideline. Inside the 20 to the 10 and finally be ridden out of bounds. Jermaine Mask with his first carry. And an explosive play for the Lynch Friars early in the ball game.
Well, he has 12 touchdowns this year. He was trying to make it number 13. That was a 47-yard run. Running behind the big lineman in front of him. Then there's a lot of Jermaine Mask right there down the sideline. Good-looking run.
Mask with 12 touchdowns on the year. So between Moore and Mask, they have combined for 39 rushing touchdowns this season.
Jair's more of the slasher home run hitter type. 27 touchdowns for him.
Mask stays in the backfield. Now here's the feed to Broussard. Broussard breaks one tackle, loses a shoe, goes for the pylon. Touchdown! How about that? Jarek Broussard with the carry from 7 yards, and Lynch scores on their opening possession.
They love to run that type of play with Broussard. We talked about it having close to 800 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns on the ground. Make that number 12. Great looking play around the corner. What an opening drive. Wow.
Set up by that big run by Mask that got him into scoring territory. Point after try from Carson Garrett is through the uprights. And just like that, Lynch takes the lead. Watch, there goes his shoe. Or was that a towel? Maybe it was a towel that came off the back of him when the defender slid off the backside.
Yeah, his shoes look taped on there, but you'll see it, what looks like a towel come flying out in the back. But that's a great looking run, and again, a great opening drive. The Friars pumped up, ready to go. You'd think with these teams being so close together, they'd play each other all the time. That hasn't always been the case.
Well, they did play in the regular season. And Dunn won the regular season meeting by a score of 28-21. And when I talked with the Dunn head coach, Michael Johnson, I said, what do you remember about that game? He said, we played terrible. And still won 28-21. Key play was a block punt that got returned for a touchdown in that ball game in the second half. But that was the first comment he gave me. He said, we were terrible that day and still won 28-21. And now they face a 7-0 deficit before they can ever put their hands on the football.
Well, Dunn went through a period where they didn't even win a game in October. They had 4 consecutive losses, all in that month. Lost to Trinity Christian, Parish Episcopal, Prestonwood Christian, and Liberty Christian. It was a 5-play, 67-yard scoring drive. Very impressive start.
So Garrett's going to kick off. And Dunn's finally going to get their hands on the ball. Line drive goes over one of the short men. And he'll go back and pick it up at the 20-yard line. And he's in a world of trouble. He's going to go down about the 21 or 22. That's Ben Cole. Backup defensive back. He was in that first front line in front of the deep end. Ball deflected off his hands. He went back and scooped it up, but Again, good special teams coverage by both teams on both kickoffs here so far tonight.
Now we'll get a chance to see Jordan Butler and his 1,328 yards left.
And we had a question mark as to who the quarterback was going to be. It's going to be Alec Ralph, who sat out last week because of an injury. The sophomore, 5'11", 185, healthy enough to get the start in the biggest game of the year. And here's Butler, breaking tackles across the 30 and out to the 31-yard line for a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, Butler finds a hole on the left side, picks up 9 nice yards. He'll set up his offensive coordinator with 2nd and 1. Who doesn't love that?
Byron Hawthorne could do a lot of things with that. Two receivers to either side. Pistol formation. Butler again, hit the backfield, will be brought down. He'll be shy of the first down. Early penetration from Broderick Watson, number 23. There's the offensive line for the Dunn Falcons.
Keep an eye on Matus right there in the center, number 74.
Ivy Leaguer, going to go to University of Pennsylvania. Your backs and receivers, Butler, but he's got a lot of help out there. Rollerson also a big play capability as well. So now a big 3rd down and 1 here for Dunn from their own 31-yard line. They'll feed Butler, and he's got a lot of daylight this time, and he'll get up close to the 40-yard line before he'll be written down. Top of the pile, middle linebacker Landry Kershaw. Here's the defensive starting lineup. Watson, who made that sack for no gain. Good linebacking core there with Kershaw, Packard, and Murphy. And they will feed Butler again, this time around the right side. He'll get across the 40 to about the 42. Before he'll be brought down by Jeremy Irving.
Get the athletic director over at Bishop Dunne, Kenneth Davis, former Buffalo Bill, graduate of TCU, of course.
Don't tell me about that.
You were there?
Yes, I was. You don't have to remind me. 2nd down and 7. Another story for another day. Feed Butler again. Hit the hole by Kershaw. He spun off and picked up a couple to the 44-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
We'll hope to hear from Kenneth Davis at some point here in the game. Maybe Vince Erickson can corral him at some point.
So now, will it be the first passing attempt for Alex Ralph? Ralph on the season, 64% for only 590 yards. He's only thrown 64 times. Here he goes to the far side, intercepted at the 45-yard line. Streaking for the end zone and gonna score is Grayson Murphy. Pick 6 for the Lynch Friars, and it's a 13-0 lead with 7:20 to go here in the opening quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lynch could not have asked for a better start to this game. A very impressive offensive drive, followed up by a pick 6 from Murphy. Just like that, 13-0 Friars.
Murphy, a guy with 117 tackles on the season, no interceptions until now. What a great time. Point after try. Carson Garrett is good. And with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the opening quarter of the TAPS Division I title game, it's Bishop Lynch 14, Bishop Dunne nothing. Bishop Lynch out to an early 14-0 lead. Their latest right there, a 47-yard officially interception return by Grayson Murphy, giving them a 14-0 lead. And right now we go on the sideline for Vince Erickson.
You just saw the pick 6 for that last touchdown, but beside that, turnovers, one of the big keys for both teams, they say, is establishing that running game. And you saw Chuck Fawcett's offense do exactly that on that first drive. Both of them want to control that line of scrimmage, and you saw Lynch do that on that initial drive. Be looking on down here at field level. You can still hear everybody saying, keep to the game plan. Establish that running game. You've seen both teams run between the tackles very well so far. Keep looking for that as this quarter progresses. Tom, back to you.
On the kick, they kicked it to the same spot. They changed the man over there. This time it was Ricky Rollerson, but he also fumbled the ball before picking it up. You can see it here. Squirt through his hands, overran it, picked it up, and tries to come to the near side. By then, the special teams is there to bring him down at the 27-yard line.
And keep in mind, it's wet out there, although we're not having any rain at the moment. We've had a lot of rain today here in
Still a
Hewitt.
wet field, yes. So, Alec Ralph back at the controls. See if the young sophomore can recover from that pick six. One good way is to get that guy behind him. He's talking to Butler, involved in the offense again. Instead, Ralph is going to throw. He's under pressure. Now throws, deflected, incomplete. Intended there for Jabari Kepera.
A nice little fake right there just to kind of buy himself some time, but the throw, not exactly what the doctor ordered there. Got to be careful, especially after he just had a pick six.
The young freshman showing the nerve, the young sophomore rather, showing the nerves here in the early going. See him looking over to the sideline for the play call. He'll go three receivers to the top of the formation. 2nd and 10, here's Butler over the right side. And he'll be brought down at the 32-yard line. Ball came out. Kershaw is the guy who made the tackle. Got a little help along the way from Davis Peck. So those linebackers have teamed up for nearly 400 tackles on the season. That's crazy.
Well, Jordan Butler already with 6 carries for 28 yards. It's off to a pretty good start. I'd stick with that ground game for now if I was done.
See Kemper come out. 3rd down, and we'll call it 5 from the 32. Over the middle, juggled, finally caught at the 44-yard line and driven back inside the 40, but the catch made by Bobby Keenan. Keenan, a 6'2 junior. Only had 7 catches on the season coming in.
That's a tough thing to do also. When you're juggling the ball in the middle of the field, you know someone is just licking their chops ready to hit you, and he somehow held on to it. Nice job.
Got a dozen yards out of it. 1st and 10 for the 44. They feed Butler over the right side again. Broke a couple of tackles and will get close to midfield. First guy who got contact back in the secondary was Gabriel Murphy, but he couldn't bring him down.
Now we've got a shoe on the field. It's official.
And that's Kershaw, the middle linebacker, who has to come off. Let's see if Dunn can exploit that. Late substitution for Lynch. It's going to be Presley Luce. Feed Butler up the middle. And he will get close to 1st down yardage before being ridden down. Warren Walls hanging on for dear life from behind until his teammates could get there, and they say move those sticks. 5-yard pickup to the 46. So the first time Dunn has crossed the midfield stripe in the ball game. Still have 5:15 to play here in the opening quarter.
Still waiting on the play to come in.
Play clock is at 14, so they've got time. Wing back to the right. They go Butler up the middle. Breaking tackles inside the 30, carrying men inside the 25. And down to about the 22-yard line goes Jordan Butler.
Well, Butler has been very impressive on the ground. They're getting some big holes up front. This is definitely what's working so far here for Dunn, running the football. I would stick with that.
24 yards for Butler on that carry. 1st and 10 for the 22-yard line. Dunn trails by 14, trying to get on the board here. Blitz coming from Lynch. And the quarterback, Ralph, will keep himself, and he'll pick up about 4 to the 18-yard line.
Alec Ralph, just a sophomore. A lot of times you just want to kind of get the flow of the game going, start running the football, put together a nice drive, try to answer that last touchdown especially.
He's only run for 169 yards this season, but you have to measure that with, he gets credited for lost rushing yards on sacks. Here's Ralph through the air for the end zone, leaping catch, touchdown. Ricky Rollerson goes high on the right side of the end zone, and it's a 14-6 ball game.
The senior looking good right there. Jumped up, caught that ball at its highest point, hauled it in, and that's what Dunn needed, an answer. He can make it a 7-point game after that touchdown.
Rollerson, the speed guy who can stretch the defense. Well, he stretched it there. It stretched his entire 6-foot body out to bring that catch in.
That was set up, though, with the good running from Jordan Butler, who's already got 9 carries for 61 yards, averaging almost 7 yards a carry.
Tucker Littleton to try and tack on the point after, and he does. Right down the middle. So an action-packed first quarter here. Still 3:50 to play. 3 touchdowns on the board. 2 for Lynch and 1 for Dunn in the TAPS Division I title game. Bishop Dunn caps off a 73-yard drive with this beautiful pass from Alec Ralph to Ricky Rollerson in the corner of the end zone for Bishop Dunn's first score of the game. 73 yards in 8 plays. Took nearly 3.5 minutes off the scoreboard. 3:50 to go, opening quarter. TAPS Division I title game. We expected a brawl between these two neighboring schools, and we've got it so far.
It's been a great game. A lot of fireworks here in the early going.
Littleton with a short kick, fielded by an up man at the 25-yard line. Trying to push his way behind blockers and will get across the 35 and out to the 38-yard line. And that was Jair Moore on the return.
Yeah, it's a really good 1-2 punch if you're Lynch. We often refer to teams having that thunder and that lightning. It's just so important to be able to have a guy who can kind of pound the rock and then someone who can fly and get that home run for you and pick up the big chunks of yards. By the way, Lynch head coach Chuck Fawcett. The name sounds familiar, Longhorn fans. You might remember Julianne Fawcett. That's his daughter, volleyball player from the University of Texas. 4 daughters all playing volleyball.
Running play, and Moore's got no place to go. He'll be spilled right at the 35-yard line. And getting up happy is number 79, Damian Daniels, with that line penetration. Loss of 1. It's going to be second down at 11. Daniels, a 4-star recruit. Several D1 offers. It'll be interesting to follow his career.
Several D1 players on both sides of this field in both red and black.
Second down and 11. And LaRoe throws and overthrows an intended receiver at the 47-yard line. It's sprawled on the turf is the tight end, Jack Bradley. He was open. Ball just a little too tall.
Yeah, had some time up front, a little high, no doubt.
Crossing pattern work for the tight end. Underneath, you send those guys downfield, and it causes that gap in the defense. They found it, just misconnected on the pass.
One other thought about Chuck Fawcett as far as Longhorn connection. He was with Mack Brown, that 98 to 2001 season.
That was a long season, one from 98 to 2001. Third down and long. LaRoe throws, tipped and incomplete. Looking for Wells, the other tight end, and getting a finger on it was Brian Williams, guy who's got 8 interceptions on the season.
Take a look at this play one more time. Just a bit high and tipped.
Once again, LaRoe was under heavy pressure. Watch right there as they were in his face. Got hit by Calvin Avery there.
Let him play, I like it.
Punting situation. Carson Garrett does both the punting and the place kicking for Lynch. He gets this one off the side of his foot. He goes out of bounds near the 45-yard line. In Dunn territory, they'll spot it at the 44. So only a 20-yard kick.
Of course, Bishop Dunn lost last year to Prestonwood Christian in the state championship game. Won the year before in 2014. They had titles back in 87, 88, and 90. that photography. Nice job.
So here come the Dunn Falcons. You might could call this TAP's Division I title game the Bishop Bowl, but I wouldn't be the one who would do that.
The Battle of the Bishops, the Bishop Bowl, we've heard it all.
1st and 10 for the 44 for Alec Ralph, a back to either shoulder. And this time we're going to feed Donald Gamble. Gamble will get 3 or 4 yards on his first carry of the ball game. Gamble, a 5'9" junior, weighs 180. He's the guy who spells Butler, but that time both of those guys were in the backfield, one to either shoulder of Ralph.
Offensive line coach Larry Moore for Michael Johnson's Bishop Dunn Falcons. He's got some big boys up there, doesn't he?
315, 310, 285, 330, and 330. I would say he's got some size.
Football line. Are you kidding me?
Here's Gamble again, lowers his shoulder and takes 2 defenders with him for a first down at the 45-yard line in Lynch territory. Took 2 men to bring him down, the safeties Irving and Murphy.
Got a little hesitation on the handoff, but it works out for them as they pick up the first down.
Gain of 7 on that carry. 1st and 10 now at the 45. Dunn looking for the tying score. Late in the first quarter, we go back to Butler. And he follows one of those big hosses. That was Chance Jones. He followed inside the 40 to the 38-yard line for 7 more yards.
Well, you know, Bishop Dunn, they opened the season with Deer Park down in the greater Houston area, beat them 45-24. Beat a really good Trinity Christian team that's located there in the Cedar Hill area of Texas, near Dallas-Fort Worth area.
2nd down, 3 coming up here for the Falcons. Gamble will have the first down as he dives his way to the 30-yard line. And right now, that big offensive line is owning the show offensively for this Dunn Falcon offense.
They sure are. Watch the hole open up. Just a big surge moving forward. You know, their first loss of the season actually came against Fayetteville, but that was the #1 team in the state of Arkansas.
They were in the championship game last night. I don't know if they won or not, but they made it to the title game in their division over in Arkansas. Running play, and once again, it's Bishop. And he will get to the 22-yard line before he goes down. And they are getting yards in chunks. That's 7 more. You can add to the rushing total. Watch the blocking up front.
Yeah, a lot of guys getting pushed back. And a very manageable 2nd and 3 here on the 22.
Butler now with 11 carries for 76 yards. We're not even out of the first quarter. 2nd down, 3 again. Butler to the left. This time they've got him bottled up. They only gain a yard. As we go inside 20 seconds, that might be our final play of the first quarter.
Fast-moving first quarter.
Both teams like to run the ball, and that would lend itself to a fast-paced game, and that's what we've got.
You know, I know we have a nationwide audience, and you're seeing some really good private school Texas football right here.
And there you have it. The first 12 minutes are in the books. 2 touchdowns on the opening possessions for the Bishop Lynch Friars have staked them to a 14-7 lead, but Bishop Dunn knocking on the door for the tying score. Bring it back to a very special edition of Fox College Football. It's the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools Division I championship game between the Bishop Lynch Friars and the Bishop Dunn Falcons. And Lynch with a 14-7 lead. They ran a play while we were in the break, and it was a first down run for Butler. So Dunn has it 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line as they go inside the red zone and feed Butler again, and this time they bottle him up at the line of scrimmage. They'll probably give him a yard to the 15, but that's all. But that time, the front 4 for the Lynch Friars would not be pushed around like they have been for much of the first quarter.
Well, and Bishop Dunne had an advantage of total yards, 130 to 66 in that first quarter. Thanks a lot, mainly to the ground game with Butler. He's at 77 yards already, just 12 carries.
Second down and 9. Butler again over the left side, has some room. And Kershaw will bring him down close to the first down marker. They'll spot him down at the 8. So it's going to be 3rd down and 2, but he almost broke free here. Watch.
Nice little stutter step right there. This play coming up, Tom, will be the 10th play of this drive. Dunn has really done a nice job on their drives.
Started at the 44-yard line. Consumed nearly 4 minutes. From the pistol, it's Butler. Hit the backfield, broke that tackle. Leg drive, gets him down to the 3 and maybe the 2-yard line. Look at him go.
That's where those squat thrusts pay off.
5'10", 196, but a powerful lower body for Jordan Butler, the senior.
No arm tackle is going to bring him down. In fact, very difficult. He's got that drive, and he just pushed it off. Picked up 2 more yards and got a little help at the end.
Davis Peck couldn't bring him down. 2nd down and goal from the 3, and we have whistles. Penalty marker, false start. First penalty of the ball game. And I want to say it's on Butler because you see him squatting down. He must have leaned out of that
number 71
stance of his in the backfield.
First down.
Well, they called it on 71 on the offensive line, so he must have just flinched.
So Jones is the left guard. He's the one guilty of the call. So put it back to the 8-yard line after the false start penalty. 2nd and goal for Dunn, looking for the tying score. Heavy backfield, give it to Butler, hit the backfield. Kershaw across the line of scrimmage will spill him for a loss of 4. Landry Kershaw, look at him right across the line of scrimmage. Nobody blocked him. Clear path to the running back. And took him down for a 4-yard loss.
Tommy's already got 8 tackles on the night. We just started the second quarter.
Well, I did one of the Oklahoma State championship games last night, and we're seeing Butler run up the yardage here. I had a running back do the same, and I had a defensive back do the same kind of tackling things in that ball game. Here's Butler again, and down he goes at the 11-yard line. Could not escape Davis Peck.
It's going to be 3rd and long. 11 needed. 3rd and goal. Might have to go up top here.
Well, it's been an iffy proposition so far early on for Alec Ralph. Interception the first time he threw it, but shortly thereafter, a beautiful touchdown strike. 3rd and goal from the 11 for Dunn. Going for the end zone, leap, and incomplete. Good coverage back there. Jeremy Harris looking for Jacques Hawkins, 6'4" senior, trying to throw it up there for the big guy to go high and bring it down. Just could not.
Yeah, watch Hawkins. He was able to get a hand on it, but just couldn't haul it in.
Oh, he should have had that one. I think he'll tell you that. So now we get a field goal try. Tucker Littleton. Littleton from 27 yards puts it through. So Bishop Dunn gets a little bit closer, but not as close as they want. They settle for 3 on the field goal from Littleton. Our new score, Bishop Lynch 14, Bishop Dunn 10. It's the TAPS Division I championship game from Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas. Tucker Littleton with a 27-yard field goal, his 7th and 10 tries this season. Pulls Bishop Dunn to within 4 of Bishop Lynch. 14-10 our score. 8:29 to go in the first half. Back on the sidelines, here's Vince Erickson.
Tom, I don't know if you're hearing the same things up there that we're hearing here at field level, but the pads are really popping here as the wind chills approach about 42, 43 degrees. they're not only popping the pads down here with this running game, the smash mouth football between the tackles, but also they're finishing plays. The whistles are sounding, but they're still grinding down there. These two teams know each other very well, and they are really giving everybody a showdown here. That's why both of these teams are playing in the state championship. They play, they hit hard. Tom, back to you.
Short kick taken by Moore, and Moore will get tripped up as he goes across the 30 and out to the 35-yard line. And that's where Lynch is going to scrimmage 1st and 10 with their lead down to 4 points now at 14-10. 8:25 to play here in the first half.
Well, even though Dunn only came away with 3 points, it was a 14-play, 45-yard drive, taking 6:23 off the clock. That's huge.
Well, when you take that long and can't finish it off with 7, that's what really hurts, and that could come back to bite you later in the ball game. Great drive, as you mentioned. Time-consuming, grounded out, but couldn't finish at the end.
Yeah, they had 1st and goal.
A couple of penalties hurt them. So from the 35, Lynch scrimmage. This is Mask. And Mask, who had the big run in the first quarter, is going to be thrown for a 2-yard loss here. He had no place to go with that football.
Yeah, right when he touched it, he was met by several defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 red jerseys.
Calvin Avery, number 99, in the center of your picture there. With those 2 defensive tackles, Daniels goes 325 and Avery 310. They're loads to block in the middle of that offensive line. Especially when the guys blocking are 240, 230, 230. Now the guys on the right side of the line for Lynch are big boys, and we get a false start, I believe. We get a timeout called by Lynch across the way.
First charge of the half.
So before the snap, Chuck Fawcett calling timeout. It'll come with 7:38 to play here in the first half. 14 early points in the ball game for Lynch. But since then, Dunn has come on with their offense to put 10 back and make it a 4-point game.
You got Drug Ngoe over there, the senior, number 74. Talk about, bigger on that right side of the line.
He's 318, and Cole Garcia, who plays inside him at the guard spot, 6'4", 300. They are the co-captains of this ball club. And Ngoe is the quiet leader, the one who leads more by example. When he talks, everybody really listens. The guy who really barks at his teammates is Garcia. So, it's kind of good cop, bad cop, and your co-captains on the offensive line.
I was telling you about Dunn's schedule earlier. Bishop Lynch had to start off with Texas High School over in Texarkana. They lost that game, but again, not afraid to play some top-notch UIL schools, public schools, and, giving them a run for their money.
Unbalanced line here on 2nd down and 11. They'll give to Broussard. Cuts inside, got across the 40, stays on his feet, has the first down as he goes across the 45 to the 46 and maybe the 47-yard line. Jarek Broussard with an exciting run.
Take a look at Broussard here, going heavy on that left side. Follows his blocks, seals the edge, cuts back, nice run. Extra couple yards there at the end as well.
Dozen yards for Broussard on that carry. They went unbalanced line, had 4 linemen on that side of the ball. 1st and 10 now for Lynch as they approach midfield. Tight end comes in motion. That's West. Handoff will be to Mask, and Mask will get to midfield for a pickup of about 4. Now Lynch trying to give Dunn a dose of their own medicine by grinding it out on the ground.
Right after they played Texas High to open the season, which was a loss, they beat Irving High, they beat Kaufman, then lost to Bishop Dunne, beat Trinity Christian. Big tough district too. They play a lot of tough teams there. Prestonwood Christian, of course.
Broussard lines up in the slot near side here on this 2nd down 6 play. Handoff is to Mask. He's got the edge, and he'll get about 3 before he'll be thrown down. Coming up for the secondary to make that tackle, Shane Haley.
See Mask trying to find a way to pick up the first down there, about 3 yards short, but they are in Dunn territory here on the 47.
3rd down and 3. So far, Lynch is yet to convert a 3rd down in 2 attempts. Comes quick to the line of scrimmage. Again go heavy left. Oh, they fumbled the snap. Ball is loose. Dunn may have recovered. Or maybe not. Dunn thought they had it, but LaRoe came out of the pile, but he lost 3, and now it's going to be 4th and 6.
Watch Jagger LaRoe somehow gets it out from underneath his legs. How did he muscle that ball away? There you go. Nice job.
It looks as though the punting team and Carson Garrett's going to come on here. Try and play a little field position against Dunn and pin them deep in their own territory if they can. Garrett with a good snap from center. Gets this one away to the far sideline. Well, he's angled for the sidelines. Short kick, 25 yards out of the 25-yard line. And that's where Dunn will take over, trailing by 4 with 5:09 left here in the first half.
Well, we told you a lot about Jordan Butler. You know, Trey Gamble, 450 yards rushing coming in, averaging about 7 yards per carry. They got that big offensive line. And they can really run that play action out of the spread, too. Don't be surprised if they don't start, breaking it up the run game a little bit, going up through the air.
Well, in years past, Michael Johnson's been known for throwing the ball around a lot. But this year with that offensive line, he said we had to change as the year went on from a passing team to the running team because we just had to take advantage of those guys up front. Butler to the deep back. Ralph is going to keep. Now he's going to throw. He's got a man near sideline. Caught near midfield and out of bounds. And that's Jock Hawkins.
Right on cue. Not exactly play action, but definitely taking advantage of what they can do on the ground. They start off. Oh, look at the face mask right there. They're throwing it downfield.
25-yard pickup to midfield. 1st and 10 for Dunn.
Play action working there.
Here's the running play. Butler breaks a tackle and will get almost 5 before he'll be ridden to the ground by Broderick Watson.
Well, Michael Johnson was telling us earlier in the week, his keys: run the football, control the clock, finish drives. They weren't able. I guess you could say they got the field goal, but I wouldn't call a finish.
No,
not when they wound up around the 10.
Not when you got 1st and goal. You want to finish that with a touchdown. Another handoff for Butler. He'll get inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. And Watson again was the first guy to make contact down low and take him off his feet.
He also mentioned they need to play clean on offense, and they were clean up until that last drive where they had a couple of penalties that really hurt them.
Dunn now with 177 yards of total offense to just 81 for Lynch. 3rd down and 3 for the Falcons from the Lynch 43-yard line. Fake the jet sweep, give it to Butler. They've got him hemmed up. Maybe a yard, but that's all. As Chris Sigsby, first guy to hit him and not let him go.
Clock continuing to move. It's 4th and 2, but 3:41 and counting. They might punt here.
And it's going to be Littleton. Littleton has shared the punting duties with Carson Horner. And Littleton, who does all the placement work, will get this one away, and the dangerous Broussard will jog onto the field at the 20-yard line.
Watch the fake here. They're on the 42 of Lynch.
High snap. Littleton just gets it away. A line drive that'll hit inside the 15. And Broussard, did he touch it? Well, he picked it up, and he's in trouble, and he'll get down at the 4-yard line.
Don't touch it inside your 5.
No. Especially when it's rolling around on a wet turf. 3:03 to go. Friars holding on to a 4-point lead over the Falcons here in the TAPS Division I championship game. We are back at Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas, the site of the 2016 TAPS championship games for football. It's been a big weekend between 6 men and the regulation football all weekend long, and this is the highlight, the main event, if you will, Division I game between Bishop Lynch and Bishop Dunn, both from Dallas. And Lynch jumped out to a 14-0 lead and seen Dunn cut it down to 4. 3:01 to go. And now Lynch starts deep in their own territory. Fumble the football! Loose, fumbled, recovered in the end zone. Touchdown for Dunn!
What a big play right there by the defense.
Falling on the football for Dunn was Paul Favorite. Bad exchange between the quarterback LaRoe and the running back Moore. Watch.
Number 9, defensive end. Johnny
There's
on the spot,
loose ball,
right
says,
there.
Thank you very much.
Doesn't get any easier than that. At least if you're Paul Favorite.
Well, he will never score an easier touchdown than that. Nobody around him, just fall on the ball. Thank you. Now Littleton to tack on the point after. Ralph sets it up and Littleton sends it through. And for the first time tonight, the Dunn Falcons have the lead at 17-14, taking advantage of a miscue by the Lynch Pryor offense.
Yeah, that happened quickly. Talked about these two teams coming in 8-5. They had some trouble in the middle part of the season. They've both kind of reached their stride, but it's plays like that that will just really hurt you, especially for the Friars.
Well, that's what cost them. That was the key play in the regular season meeting. It was 28-21. It was a block punt that got scooped up in return for a score. That was the difference in that 7-point win. Here it's a bad exchange between the quarterback and the running back. Fall on the ball in the end zone for a score that puts Dunn on top. So Lynch scores the first 14 of this ball game, and Dunn has now come back with 17 unanswered to take their first lead with 2:57 to play until halftime. Let's go to Vince Erickson.
Tom, we've had 14 points scored off turnovers so far, and here at field level, I can tell you that things are slick out here, but it's not overly cold, so it's not really a big factor here. Coach Michael Johnson from District Dunn told me before the game that they do a cold ball drill all year long, and Coach Fawcett on the Bishop Lynch sideline says, this is the kind of weather we like to play in. So it's a matter of turnovers, blocking, and tackling here at field level, and that's exactly what you're seeing as we get close to halftime. Tom, back to you.
Moore takes the short kick on the near side, runs all the way across the field and up the sideline in front of the Lynch bench and gets across the 45 to the 46-yard line to set the Friars up with good field position. Watch it again here.
Look at Jaron Moore, so much speed as he breaks to the outside, and that's what they needed, a kind of a spark from their special teams. They got up to the great start, scoring a couple of touchdowns early, but they've been a little stagnant since those first couple of touchdowns.
Jalen Drayden with the tackle along the sideline there, but not before Moore reaches the 46-yard line. So let's see how LaRoe and the Friars will respond. Jet sweep and turning back the other way, Broussard. Oh, he got tripped up as he got to midfield. Oh, he had a lot of turf in front of him. And maybe a touchdown-saving tackle there by Stacy Dunlap.
Well, they call him Channel 3, and he was channel surfing right here. Almost stayed on his feet. He would have been gone.
Check it, that was Eric Collins, 26 and not 25 on the tackle. Nonetheless, a 9-yard gain to the 45-yard line in Dunn territory. Running play, and this is masked. Tough yardage, but it should be enough for the first down. Haley down at the bottom of the pile on that one, but move those sticks to the 1st and 10. And a much-needed one for this Friar offense.
This is an important drive for them. After taking that 14-0 lead, we're down to 2 minutes here in the first half. They want to go into the locker room feeling pretty good about things. By the way, great crowd here. These two teams driving from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, obviously Dallas.
1st and 10. Jet sweep again for Broussard. Looks for a block, got it on the corner. Hurdles the man at the 35 and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. He went right over the top of Logan Wilson. Logan said, where'd he go?
That's the channel surfing we were talking about from Channel 3, as they call them.
Watch this again.
Check it out. Zoop. Hello.
12-yard pickup, 1st and 10. Friars on the march, looking to go back in front. Fake it to Broussard. And
Good
this
block.
time it's Moore who's the Wildcat quarterback, and he'll take it for a first down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
How about the block from Jarrett Broussard to spring him free? Jared Moore, all he do is just follow that block and pick up another first down.
Watch, they got everybody believing jet sweep, and he pulls it. There's the block on the edge and set it open for Moore. 14 yards on that carry for Moore. Now in the red zone are the Bishop Lynch Friars. 17-yard line, minute 34 to go. Clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play.
Those last two runs, 13 and 14 yards.
Moore flanks out. Mask is in the backfield. He's got the handoff. He goes over the right side. Fighting for yardage, but he'll be stood up and driven back from the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Jermaine Mask, who had the big 47-yard run in the first quarter that set up their opening touchdown.
Clock still rolling, closing in on a minute. They don't want to leave any time for Dunn.
20 seconds on the play clock as they break the huddle. Mask goes in the slot far side. Broussard flex out on the near side. He goes in motion, fake the jet sweep. And again, it's Moore on the Wildcat, and he'll dive forward to about the 11. And there'll be a timeout called by Chuck Fawcett with 50 seconds to go and a big third down play coming up here. Third down and 4 from the 11-yard line.
It's a good timeout right there with 50 seconds to go. Want to make sure you leave yourself enough time to get into that end zone. Not as worried about beyond the touchdown.
They don't do you any good taking them in the locker room with you at halftime. They don't carry over. So big
Friars
play.
4 of 6 on third down.
Third down has been bugaboo for the Friars. They're 0 for 3. Dunn is 4 out of 7.
You know, Chuck Fawcett, he actually coached over at St. Pius for a while also down in the Houston area. Offensive coordinator Paul DiBiase, also a Lynch alum.
It's a big play here coming up here for the Lynch Friars at the 11-yard line.
He used to run a spread too, and he's kind of had to adjust as well, more to the ground game.
Again, unbalanced line to the wide side, movement at the line of scrimmage. Now, was it a false start, or did the defensive line make contact? And if the defensive line jumped in the neutral zone, that's a free first down. What a way to convert your third down opportunity. You get the defense to jump outsides, and you'll get a first and goal from the 6. Once again, Patrick Harris, our head official.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down. Please reset the game clock.
Right there.
To 50 seconds, please. Thank you.
That was Calvin Avery who got across early. So move the ball to the 6. First and goal here for Lynch. Again, they go unbalanced to the wide side of the field. Wildcat formation with Moore. He's got it. This time he'll give to Broussard. Looking for a block for the pylon. Did he get in? No, out of bounds, just inside the 1.
I want to see that. I thought he got the ball over the goal line inside that pylon. Apparently, not quite. Watch your upper screen here. Does he get the ball inside the pylon before going out? Hard to tell.
Yeah, hard to tell from that. Body's in the way. So it's going to be second and goal from the 1. Lynch looking for the go-ahead score. High snap. Moore keeps it to the right side. He's in. Touchdown. Bishop Lynch. They're back on top, 20-17.
What an entertaining first half. After the Friars jumped out 14-0, they surrender 17 points. Now they get a touchdown back. 41 seconds until halftime. They're up 20-17. That was a good drive right there.
One thing Chuck Fawcett says about his team, he says, Doesn't matter what those results are. My team plays hard for all 48 minutes, so giving up 17 in a row did not faze them. Point after try here on the way, and good from Carson Garrett. So with 41 seconds to play here until halftime. Bishop Lynch has gone back on top on a 1-yard run from Jair Moore.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Defense. Penalties decline. Extra point is good.
Don't want to take the points off the board. So a 54-yard drive. 8 plays it took him to move down the field.
Just look at the Dunn dance team there. Talked about this earlier, Tom. Great crowds coming down I-35, both sides of the stands. Really packed here.
2:16 off the clock on that drive, milked the clock down to 41.
On top of that, you know, you're driving in rainy conditions, and they know how important this is. This is a state championship.
And it's your neighbor, too.
Yeah,
you want to beat your neighbor.
They might have carpooled down.
A lot of incentive to be here for this ball game, and you can hear all the enthusiasm from both sides tonight as it gone back and forth. Right now, Lynch has got the lead again with 41 seconds until halftime. Garrett to kick it away. And this time he'll bunt it down the field. High hop, taken by a man on the run, coming to the near sideline. Turns the corner at the 35 and go out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Taking the ball on the hop was Campbell, the backup running back. It's a guy who's got sure hands, and you don't mind picking it up.
Tom, we were talking about this prior to the game, that these two teams, the players actually went to church together, had a good chance to just kind of get to know each other a little bit better. They know they're going to battle on the football field.
It's very interesting that, you know, the Archdiocese of Dallas and Bishop Greg Kelly put this together because of the two schools and the close proximity. He wanted to get to know them as people and not just opponents. The very thing, they called it pasta and prayer. They held it on Thursday. So here's Ralph. Scrambles out of the pocket. He'll come to the near sideline. Get what he can. Tight roping. He got close to the first down. Where do they say he stepped out? They're going to put him out across midfield at the 49-yard line. Move the sticks. Nice run by Alec Ralph, the sophomore.
Yeah, being aware where the first down marker was, knowing to get out of bounds to stop the clock at 26 seconds. By the way, Dunn with 3 timeouts.
So they can do whatever they want here with this final 26 seconds. Ralph looks to throw. Has great protection. Now unloads the far side. Coming back for it and couldn't pick it up was Bobby Keenan. Ball a little underthrown by Ralph. Let's take a look after the play here.
Good time right there, but the big hit.
That was a good hit. That was in the motion. Chris Sigsby coming in, getting him right square in the middle.
Hard to get the big guys to slow down when they're coming in full steam ahead.
Well, he's only half a step away. He can't stop at that point. He didn't do anything untoward. Tried to set up the screen and threw it behind the intended receiver, Jabari Kepera. So 2 misfires in a row here for Ralph. Leaves Dunn with a 3rd down and 10 from the Lynch 49-yard line and 14 seconds to play until halftime.
Get at least 2 plays out of it. They're going to have to look for a timeout here once they can get out of bounds.
Gambles the back. He's got the handoff. He broke a tackle but cannot escape Kershaw. He'll bring him down at the 44. We're down to 6 seconds, to 5, to 4, to 3, and Dunn's just going to let it run out.
Wow.
They'll get the second half kickoff. That's the one thing that's in their favor. They will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. But what a first half we've had. Back and forth between these two neighboring schools, separated by just 15 miles in the city of Dallas. And Bishop Lynch with a 21-17 lead over Bishop Dunne here as the teams leave the field and head for the locker room. And Vince trying to catch up with one of the coaches here before they totally escape. So we'll wait just a second to see if Vince is able to flag him down. And yes, Vince is going to go over and he's going to get Chuck Fawcett from the far sideline and interview him on the field here. It'd be interesting to get Coach's comments here on getting out to the early 14-0 lead, then surrendering 17 before coming back to go on top by 4. And Vince, if you're ready, take it away with Coach Fawcett.
Coach Chuck Fawcett with us right now. Coach, you're up 21-17. Turnovers played a key part in this, but you also said that controlling that line of scrimmage was mega important. Did that happen for you?
First of all, what a great football game so far. Yeah, we're trying to control the football, like I said, running the ball. Offense is doing a great job. Defense, we started off, had a turnover there, which was great. We were opportunistic. We need to play a little bit better in the second half on defense. They started to get it going, but they're still playing well and they're playing hard. So
what do you tell your team going into halftime, up 4, close game with everything on the line?
24 minutes, baby. 24 minutes to be a state champion.
24 minutes. Well, let's go talk to your team, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. It is 21-17 Friars over the Falcons here at halftime as the festivities begin, and then we'll play some football after halftime is done. Tom,
all right, Vince, thanks very much. So the Bishop Bowl living up to its advanced billing. We got a dandy here for the TAPS Division I title tonight at Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas. Bishop Lynch on top, 21-14 over Bishop Dunne. Halftime activities are coming up next.
The Battle of the Bishops. It's Lynch leading Dunn 21-17 halftime here. The executive director of TAPS, Brian Bunsemeyer, joining us now. And first of all, Brian, we've seen some great action. 3 days, a lot of football. This game, certainly the icing on the cake.
The icing on the cake, though, a few candles on top, too.
Yeah.
Fireworks are to come. The second half's going to tell the tale on this one.
Well, and Vince Erickson's been telling us about all the big hits, and you could really hear it. You can hear it all the way up here to the press box. There's a lot of weight being thrown around down there.
I'm 6'10", and when I go down there, I feel just about average, and then they're outweighing me by 100 pounds. So it's a big bunch of boys down there tonight.
I'm glad you said that, because I am 6'5", and I feel a little bit short standing
It's
next
okay.
to you. Give me your thoughts about the move for TAPS from Salado up to Fort Worth. You guys moving to what, turn 2 over at the Texas Motor Speedway?
Turn 2 at Texas Motor Speedway. It's kind of the hub in the North Texas area. It's not the Star, it's not some of the other places, but you know, when you see the world's biggest parking lot, it's a fun place to be, and every day there's something new. So I mean, it kind of keeps it fresh for us after being in Salado for quite a while.
And the move, it just kind of puts you in the Metroplex area. Talk about how maybe the adjustments, how that's worked for you.
The biggest thing is just kind of amped up expectation. You know, when you go in and you're with a bunch of folks and the whole office building is there, they're striving for excellence, and there we are as well. We're just excited to be there.
Let's talk about the events coming up here in the near future for TAPS. Basketball right around the corner. Where's the venue? Talk about just the excitement that's building for that.
Well, the funnest part is going to be like this 40 yards of dance team behind me. We're having cheer and dance at Arlington Convention Center next week. So it's going to be fun having the young ladies that are supporting role here tonight. They're going to be fighting for their own state championship next week. So we're excited about that. Basketball, we're going to slide to a new venue. We're going to be at Abilene. So out there in the Key City, they're going to bring in Abilene Christian's going to host some of us, and McMurray will host for us as well. And then, you know, the exciting part for us was we're back to Austin. We've been in Houston the last couple of years for baseball and softball, and we're back in the Central Texas area. We'll be at Concordia University for those, so we're really excited about those opportunities.
For those of you who haven't seen Concordia University, they were in the downtown area of Austin. They've moved out now, kind of the northwest side, out on Highway 620. It's a beautiful campus, great-looking basketball gym, the baseball, softball facilities, state-of-the-art.
The best thing I think that I can say about both of these opportunities for basketball and for the baseball softball opportunity is we're at private schools that are reaching out to private school kids, and we're giving an opportunity. And I think it just pays back that these kids are seeing that what they're doing in high school, they can also make those choices. They can move forward, and there's universities out there that have those same values that they're looking for.
Let's give a little praise here. Midway High School here this entire school district's done a great job. They've really kind of opened up their arms and welcomed everybody. The food's also really good, I might add. But they've done a great job of just kind of welcoming everybody here.
You know, anytime we go to a new venue, you got to figure the nooks and the crannies. You got to figure out what you're going to drop and how fast you can pick it back up. The best part I can say about this is they're anticipating our needs, but when we do need something on the fly, we've been able to go. And this has not been an easy championship. We've had the wind, we've had the rain, we fought the elements a little bit, but they're always there to help. And the most welcoming people, I mean, from their ticket takers to the guys down there cleaning up the field, I couldn't be more welcome to be here. They feel like, and I use the term a lot, but they feel like more of a partnership. It's more like coming home to Thanksgiving dinner and seeing those long-lost cousins you haven't seen. We just met. So.
Well, you and I have been here the whole run. We had the 3 6-man championship games on Thursday, a couple yesterday on the 11-man variety, and now 2 more again today. We've seen a lot of great football. There's been close games. Really hasn't been any blowouts. All the competition's been really great.
You know, even the score gets away, they seem to come right back. So you get it like here tonight, you got a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah.
You're thinking, what are we going? And then it's the quick strike offense. Each of these games that we've seen so far kind of has that characteristic. You've got one that's a little more going to drive it in, take their time, and then you got one that seems to be a little nervous. How fast can I get it down the field? Tonight, the fun part I'm having here is there's speed on both sides of the ball. The other side that's fun tonight is there's big speed on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that earlier today. There were some cats earlier today that were really getting there and delivering a hit when they got there.
A lot of Division I players out there playing.
You know, the best part for me, too, is we always focus on Division I, and I hear that. But, you know, how neat it is that in the state of Texas, when you look at the number of universities that have gone Division I recently, but we have Division II, we have Division III, we have the NAIA. So many of these kids, this will not be their last game. They can go out, they can walk on. Even down the road here, not 30 miles away, you have UMHB, where you've got over 100 kids that walk out there and try their hardest to make back another team. After being a star out here, they get to be part of something special later on.
You know, and let's give a shout out also for volleyball. That recently wrapped up over in Brownwood, correct?
Howard Payne opened their arms. City of Brownwood opened their arms. We had some of the best volleyball I've seen in my life. But the best part of that was even though some of the matches only went 3, they were 25-22. They were right there. Everybody was in it. You had to hold your breath. You didn't know what the answer was going to be or the outcome. So, and we had one of the big upsets. Bishop Lynch was going, their volleyball team was going for 5 in a row. And a shout out to Tomball Concordia Lutheran for stepping up in 5, going past the 15 mark to get it done. So that was exciting times.
Let me ask you this. On that note, with Lynch, Dunn, a lot of times these schools, they have kind of trouble scheduling teams. Nobody wants to play these guys in non-district. You know, you see it firsthand, right?
I see it firsthand, but the schools in the UIL and other leagues do too. When you're good, people don't want to schedule you. When you're bad, you seem to make everybody's homecoming list.
Right.
But I will give praise to this district. This district 1-6A up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's not an easy game. From top to bottom, it's a 7-8 team district. You're going to play every week, and every week somebody's going to step up and hit you. So by the time you get through there, you're battle tested. So to see these two teams, and to be honest with you, you have the 5th and 6th place teams out of the district that are coming back here meeting for this championship game. And if I hadn't just told you that, you probably wouldn't have known it. You'd have probably thought 1st and 2nd coming out of district.
I know both 8 and 5, both of them had a kind of a tough October, but then now they're playing their best football when it counts the most.
When it counts the most, and bring it hard, bring it fast.
Final thoughts, just the state of TAPS right now, maybe things that are on the horizon.
Best thing about TAPS is we're settled into the new offices. We've got a great vision. I do need to give a shout out to Children's Health, Andrews Institute. We have a great safety and health initiative. We're moving forward. They're our backbone. And I think what we're going to do is, and what you're going to see in the years to come, in TAPS as well as the UILs, student safety is paramount, best training, best athletes, and we're going to move forward at all levels.
Safety first.
Safety first every time. Play your hardest, but know you're going to be okay when you get done.
Sure. Brian Bunsenmeyer, he's the executive director of TAPS. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back with some more Division I football.
And we're back here at Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas. It's the TAPS Division I championship game, and we've got a dandy on hand between 2 neighboring schools. The Bishop Lynch Friars owning a 21-17 lead over the Bishop Dunne Falcons. Tom Franklin and Jeff Power. What a first half, huh, partner?
It was almost kind of the tale of 2 different games. I mean, you get Lynch jumps out to the early 14-0 lead, and then
Dunne
Dunne played really
if you
well.
weren't settled in your seat real good, it was 14-0.
Those pick sixes will do that to you, won't they? But then back, comes Dunne. They looked really good in the middle part of that first half. But then that drive at the end was really big for the Friars. They needed that.
Absolutely, especially since Dunn gets the ball to start here the third quarter and a chance to go back and retake the lead. Now, you had ball game earlier today, you had Division III, and a surprise winner. The only Houston area school to make it here to Hewitt, Texas, comes up with the Division III championship.
Yeah, 21-17 win. And the one thing that kind of stood out, North Richland, they came out here knowing that they didn't play the best first half, but they were very impressive in the second half. That's where they really won the game. Their defense, their defensive line, the front line, did a great job. It was a great win for them.
It's a 48-minute game. It doesn't rely on just the first 24. We've seen an exciting 24 here, but we still got 24 minutes to go before this one gets decided. And you have to play start to finish. And you talk to these two coaches here about their teams. It's one of the trademarks is you have to play every snap, and you have to have a short memory. If you give up a bad play, you got to just wipe it out of your mind and come back and try to do your best. And you saw that happen for Bishop Dunne here. They give up an opening drive for a score, pick 6 on their first possession. They're down 14-0, and then they rally for 17 straight points.
It was almost like they said, okay, we're ready now. Let's play some football. They get the 17 points. And key, having to settle for that field goal after that long, nice drive. Got around the 10-yard line, and they didn't want to settle for that field goal. And that was the kind of things that can come back and haunt you later.
You've been here all weekend long. You saw 3 6-man games on Thursday. You had a couple of games last night in the afternoon, a 4A, a Division 4 game, and a Division 2 game. Give me your overall impression since you've seen it all.
Yeah, you know what? I got one here. Grace Prep, I tell you, that team took on Shiner St. Paul. Shiner St. Paul came out running this almost old-fashioned Nebraska-style offense yesterday. This was Paul Walksmith, their head coach. Jake Walksmith, that is. His dad, Paul, coaches the defense, coached him back when he was playing, about 50 years of coaching. But no doubt about it, Shiner St. Paul, they stuck with their guns, and they took on a Grace Prep team that stuck with their guns. It was spread offense versus more of a running and control the clock. In the end, it was Shiner St. Paul that won the game. And I just think that when it comes down to that, you can still see that type of football, the different styles. Some teams prefer to run it. Some teams try to use that ball control. Others making that transition over into the spread offenses, and that's what you see all over the state of Texas now. Everybody throwing the ball all over the place. It's good every now and then to see that old-fashioned style, play some defense and run it.
And I think you get that kind of football in the lower classes, whether it's the lower classes of TAPS or the lower classes of UIL. I think when you get into the smaller schools there, I think that's where you get the tendency to go back to old school football. The bigger programs who feed the D1 schools and the FCS schools like Sam Houston State and Stephen F. Austin, they have to kind of go with the contemporary thing to show off their athletes.
Yeah, and I think when you had 7 games in a 3-day period. We went from bright, sunny, beautiful skies on Thursday. Friday started getting a little bit cloudy.
Come on, man.
Then we get the downpour last night. And another thing that kind of stood out in a game that was played last night, Regents. You and I got a chance to kind of see them out in the Austin area a couple of times early this week, or this year, I should say. They went for 2 in a situation where they run their kicker out, they kick an extra point to tie it up, and we're thinking they're going to go to triple overtime, and instead they get iced. They get the old, let's ice the kicker, timeout. Then they come back out. They run a lineman out there. They don't quite have what they need, so they got to call timeout. Meanwhile, the kicker's standing there in the rain. And then they decide to go for 2. They bring the swinging gate out there. And then Jace Franklin.
Talking about old school football.
Yeah, Jace Franklin overthrows the man. And I kind of felt bad for Beck Bryden, the head coach for Regents, because I think he felt like in a double overtime situation, you're running out of time out there. Your guys are tired. A lot of them going both ways, and then all of a sudden you're put in a position where, hey, I can win it right now and just end this thing.
You talk about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat right there on that play. Yeah. You saw it there. You see it all here at TAPS, and we got a good one here for you in Division 1. It's Bishop Lynch, 21. Bishop Dunne, 17. We'll come back and take a look at those first half highlights and first half stats right after this timeout. We continue with halftime activities here at Panther Stadium, Hewitt, Texas. The TAPS Division I championship game. And we've got a dandy in the Bishop Bowl, the Battle of the Bishops. Call it what you will, backyard brawl. 2 teams from Dallas, and it's the Dallas Bishop Lynch Friars with a 21-17 lead over the Dallas Bishop Dunne Falcons here at intermission.
Yeah, by the way, hey, Northland Christian, that was the team that won the first game early today out of the Houston area, and you made that trek from around the Houston area. That's a team that really
I
showed
took a
up
roundabout
well.
route,
Yeah,
but we won't talk about that.
But and also, hey, look at this. I want to give a shout out to Grapevine Faith because they had a media rep that shows up with these game notes yesterday, and this was fantastic. This is how you deliver. This is what you get at the college level.
Indeed.
And Grapevine Faith picking up that win over Regents. Their head coach, Chris Hogan, he was actually really good friends with Beck Bryden, and they actually hugged at the end of regulation before overtime because they know each other so well. Then they went out there and watched their teams do battle, and like I said, there was bodies all over the field when the game was over from either being worn out, crying out of happiness, or crying out of sadness.
Well, we've had a good 24 minutes here, so let's take a look at some of these first half highlights between Bishop Lynch and Bishop Dunne. Now we go to our highlights. Some early runs on the drive. Big game here from Jermaine Mask. Got loose for 47 on the opening possession to set up this 7-yard touchdown run. Jarek Broussard, as his towel goes flying, and he runs over a man at the line of scrimmage for the first score.
Yeah, good looking play right there.
Dunn comes back with Butler to get to midfield, but then pick six time. Grayson Murphy from 47 yards out eludes one more tackler and scores. And just like that, we've got a 14-0 game. But Dunn, not to be denied, goes back to that ground game, and Butler. And he gets him down deep, and Ralph overcomes the interception with a beautifully thrown ball, and Ricky Rollison brings it in. We've got a 14-7 contest in the first quarter. Now we will shift to the second quarter. And this time it's Donald Gamble helping out in the running game. But again, it's run, run, run. There's that man Butler again.
By the way, Dunn, 114 of the 194 yards between the tackles. How about that? Running up the middle.
Here you see Ralph shed a man.
This was that good pass.
Scramble and now throw on the sideline. And find his man, Hawkins at midfield.
Oops.
They pin him deep. Mistake on the handoff. Fumble recovery by Paul Favorite. And suddenly, 17 in a row has got Dunn on top. But here comes Broussard again. Cutback was one tackle away from getting a score. Comes the other way this time. Hurdles a man, look at that, to the 30-yard line. Then they go Wildcat. Broussard shows he can not only run but block as he springs Moore loose down the sideline. And Moore caps off the drive that puts Lynch back on top by a score of 21-17.
And I told you about Dunn between the tackles. How about Lynch? 115 of the 127 yards outside of the tackle. So both ways of getting it done, inside, outside, whatever it takes.
There you see a nice defensive play there by Landry Kershaw, the middle linebacker. They go for the touchdown pass and right through the hands of Jack Hawkins. And once again, Broussard on the loose, turns the corner, eludes one tackler and dives for a nice gain of a dozen yards. Big third down play there, the fumble, and fortunately recovered by Lynch, but they had to punt after that. And here are a look at our halftime stats. Dunn with 11 first downs to 7 for Lynch. Total yards 194 to 227. But the big thing, time of possession. Dunn with that ground and pound attack, including a 6.5-minute drive that led to their field goal, has a whopping almost 2-1 advantage in time of possession. You wonder if here in the second half with that big offensive line, that's going to tell a tale here, Jeff, and wear down that Lynch defensive front.
Absolutely. And by the way, special thanks to Rick Nelson and Statman, as we call him, and bringing us the stats here, doing a great job, and just really supplying us with a lot of great information. We do appreciate it.
Is he related to Ozzie and Harriet Nelson? No?
Not sure.
All right, let's go down on the sideline and see if we can get Vince Erickson to catch up with Dunn head coach Michael Johnson. Vince.
Tom, thank you. Bishop Dunn, Coach Michael Johnson here with us. Coach, what one heck of a game are we experiencing right here?
Yes, sir. It's a fun environment. I love every bit about it.
Same time right now, down 4, kind of game you were expecting here in the first half. What did you tell your team about adjustments to make here in the final 24 minutes?
I told them we got to execute better in the, far as on defense. We have to make some adjustments. They jumped into some wildcat towards the end and caught our team off guard. And so we had some alignment issues towards the end. And so we made those adjustments, and now just coming out here and executing them. And on offense, we just got to finish drives and can't turn the ball over.
All the best in the second half.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. Tom, back to you.
All right, Vince, thanks very much. All right, teams have returned to the field. We'll get ready for the second half of the TAPS Division I championship game between Bishop Dunne and Bishop Lynch. And right now, Lynch owns a 4-point lead. And you see the spirit and enthusiasm for the Dallas Bishop Lynch Friars. They get ready to take the field for the second half. They own a 4-point lead over the Bishop Dunne Falcons in the TAPS Division I championship game that wraps up a great weekend of high school football action here in Hewitt, Texas at Panther Stadium.
So
Midway High School.
Cole Garcia, number 76, looks like he was playing the saxophone there, and he's getting some looks at Duke, Arizona State. Speaking of, hey, sax, trombone.
Got the band out here. The Lynch
clarinet.
Pep squad and band trying to fire up their fans, see if they can get a second half rally. Remember, these teams met in the regular season at the end of September with Dunn scoring a 28-21 victory. So you know revenge is on the minds of the Lynch Friars. They would like nothing better to get that revenge here in the championship game and take the trophy home with them when all is said and done.
Yeah, we already crowned one of the champion today, Northland Christian out of Houston. They beat Colleyville Covenant Christian 21-17. And this game, hey, what do you know? Same score, 21-17. I don't think it'll end that way, though.
Brian Williams and Jabari Kepperer are back deep for the opening kickoff here in the third quarter.
Only in Texas do we see the camouflage on our cameraman.
Carson Garrett. Well, it helps keep you warm, you know, it tries to hide you from the raindrops.
Considering he's on a yellow ladder, might have been better off just wearing a yellow raincoat.
Straight away. Near side, backpedaling all the way to the 1 yard line is Kepperer. And he's hit across the 10, stays on his feet. And now he's going to go down. Great special teams coverage by Lynch.
See where
so
they mark it.
Poor starting position. Were they going to give the final one or the first contact? Right now, the line just standing at the 9 yard line. Watch. Here he's out to the 13. There's the first hit, driving back to the 9 where he escaped. First hit came from Davis Peck, starting linebacker on special teams. So Dunn begins deep in their own territory at the 9 yard line, trailing by 4 as we start the second half.
That forward progress, it's always kind of a tough job for the officials to determine exactly that spot.
I'm guessing Butler here on first down, deep in your own territory.
Uh-oh, something happened.
Well, we shifted the receivers from way out wide to back in. I don't think everybody was ready for the snap. This play is botched from the very beginning, and it's going to lose 4 more yards. You had wide receivers standing there looking around, wondering, like, what's going on here? Suddenly the snap comes, and Ralph has got nothing to do with the football. Watch.
We're looking at each other.
Look at him.
Do I go in motion?
Uh-oh.
Run for your life.
That is not how you want to start the second half, I promise you.
That's when you scream out, everyone go deep.
On second down, straight ahead run and nothing doing. Dunn gets, or check that. That is Butler who gets buried at the line of scrimmage. They might give him a yard, but I don't know how. Here's Ralph in the first half. 3 of 8 for 55 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 pick six.
I got to go back to Butler.
He might have to go to the air here. It's 3rd down and 13 from his end zone. Screen pass. Kepperer, nothing doing. Down he goes. Maybe another yard, but that is all. And you see how fired up this Lynch defense is. Great play made right there by Jeremy Irving, the safety. Come up through the screen. As soon as he catches it, watch him. Right there.
That's how you play the screen.
3 and out. You can't draw it up any better if you're Bishop Lynch. Now having to punt from his own end zone is Littleton. High snap, oh my goodness. He's lucky to get it out of there. Hits at the 30 and will die at about the 33-yard line. That was almost 2 points. Great play by Littleton just to save that ball.
26 yards on the punt there. First of all, this is where the basketball skills pay off. Go up, get it, just kick it. Almost blocked right there, too.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll take a 26-yard punt if it saves me 2 points and giving the ball back to the other team on the safety.
Yeah, nice effort right there. But not the start Dunn wanted, not at all.
So now Lynch with a lot of momentum here to start. Can they capitalize with great field position at the Dunn 33? Wildcat formation. Moore will take it, and he'll get a couple to the 31-yard line. You heard Mike Johnson talk about it, that we got to do assignments better. And right there, Men Kepera, the older brother, with the play there for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, he wears number 4. Actually has, it's M-E-N-E, but pronounced Men, as you said. He is the senior. His brother's a sophomore.
On second down, jet sweep, Broussard. They cover him up and throw him. Oh, man, he did a great job to go through 3 bodies to get back to the line of scrimmage. That should have been a loss of 2 or 3.
Yeah, he just somehow broke free there, Jarek Broussard.
We'll watch the contact coming right here on the edge. Right there, you see all the red shirts, and suddenly he squirts out. Got back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. So good adjustments here by Dunn, stopping plays that hurt them in the first half. Now LaRoe throws in the flat to the tight end. That is West, and West will be knocked out of bounds at about the 25, maybe the 24. It's going to be 4th down and short.
Good open field tackle right there. They can somehow come away with, well, I don't think they're going to kick a field goal. If somehow Dunn can get a stop, what a big momentum swing that'll be.
Right now, Lynch has got it all with the early stop on the first possession. Can they maintain on 4th and 1 from the 24? Wildcat formation. Moore's going to keep. He's got the first down as he goes inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Finally brought down there by Damian Daniels, but too late.
Big hole on that right side. That's where the beef is, and he ran right behind it, picked up the first down. I'll tell you what, when they need that short yardage, they go right.
When you got 300, 315 on the right side of your offensive line, yeah, you're going to run right. Moore in the first half, 7 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. Broussard goes in motion. They're going to try and counter it. Moore is brought down for a loss, and again, it's Daniels across the line of scrimmage to make the stop, and a loss of 5 yards.
Well, we talked earlier about how Lynch had 115 of the 127 yards outside the tackles. They fake it, try to run it on the other side. Nothing doing. Dunn staying home right there.
See the clock moving, 7:25 and counting here in the third quarter. 21-17. Division I title at stake.
Battle of the Bishops.
Not to mention bragging rights in the city of Dallas for the next year. And now, Lynch is going to call timeout here with 7:08 to play.
Well, with 2nd and 15.
Lynch. That's the first of the half.
Yeah, it looked like they got discombobulated with their thinking and maybe got the play call in a little bit late, didn't have the right personnel. So this is big. You want to take advantage of the stop that you got, the good kick coverage, then the stop, take advantage of the short punt. You have short field position, and now you're trying to get it in. You were in the red zone, now you're back out a little bit. Let's go to Vince Erickson.
Guys, I'll tell you what, we've had some weather conditions change down here. Now, the rain has not started yet, but it is getting to be more of a hard drizzle. What is of note is that the wind has picked up, and it's from the north-northeast right now. You can see the flags standing a little more straight up now, and that could be a factor here in the later parts of the third quarter and fourth quarter. If folks are moving toward the south end here, they'll have a good tailwind as the gusts are about 15, 20 miles per hour now. Back up to you, Tom.
All right, second down and 15 for Lynch. Start Broussard in motion, give it to him. Got a little daylight. And they're going to bear hug him down at the 20-yard line. So he only got 4 on the play, but there's a flag in the secondary. So we'll have to see what that's all about. The back judge is the man who threw the flag.
That's Mike Carroll back there, the back judge.
He'll tell Patrick Harris what's going on. And then Patrick will tell us.
Also Donald Carr, the side judge, Caesar Simpson, Lucinda Mendoza, Eric Kitchener, and John Carter.
Personal foul. Illegal block with up in the waist. On the offense. 50-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Wow.
First down.
So chop block. And here, let's see if we can pick it up. May have been there on the edge. But you cannot have one offensive lineman engage up high
Second down.
and have a second one come in down low. If you want to double team a guy, they both have to be above the waist. You can't have one above and one below. That's going to cost you 15. That chop block sent the ball all the way back to the 39-yard line.
You saw that camera angle very wide. Why? Because they got to get to the 9-yard line for a first down.
And now we get whistles again. Things are coming apart at the seams.
Offense, number 3, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So 20 yards and penalties suddenly have the Bishop Lynch Friars back at the 44-yard line.
All of a sudden it feels like Dunn punted to Lynch. They marched backwards 35, 40 yards.
They took it at the 33, got a first down at the 19. Now they're back at the 44. They got to get to the 9-yard line. It's second and 35.
Hello.
Got to go deep in your playbook to get this one. They barely get the playoff. Speaking of, Broussard trying to turn the corner. Cut off, stood up, and turned around at the 41-yard line.
Oh.
He got back up again, didn't know he was down, and man, he went right into Chevin Calloway. They'll give him progress to the 40.
It's a man's game out here. This doesn't feel like a high school football game. Look at these bodies.
Trying to dance away. Here, they blow him dead. See, he didn't go down, but they blew the forward progress dead at the 40-yard line.
Callaway saying, "You're lucky I caught you instead of drilled you."
4 receivers come to the near side. On third and forever, backwards pass to Broussard. He's going the wrong way, and he's going to be taken down at the 47-yard line by Damian Daniels.
How about that Dunn defense? Lynch helped him a bit.
Well, that's technically a running play because that was not a forward pass. That was a backwards pass. I think they wanted to set up a second throw from Broussard, but they had that smelled out, and he tried to reverse the field and had no place to go. It's a punting situation here for Garrett. And a wobbler off the side of his foot. Hit to the 20, takes a great roll for Lynch. They covered up early. They could have let that go further, but they're going to spot it about the 8-yard line. So a 40-yard kick with no return. And once again, Dunn will start deep in their own territory.
It's like we're back where we started.
4:48 left here in the third quarter. Friars still with a 4-point lead over the Falcons in the Division I championship game. Back here at Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas. 4:48 left here in the third quarter. Bishop Dunne packed up again, starting for their own 8-yard line. And another penalty, my goodness. Game is falling apart at the seams here.
False start. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, actually, it's going to be half the distance to the 4-yard line. I beg to differ, but nonetheless. And to start the third quarter here, the offense for both teams has been darn right offensive. A total of minus 13 yards for both teams in total offense. -2 for Dunn and minus 15 for Lynch.
Can we go back in the locker room and come back out?
Yeah, I tell you. Moving at the line of scrimmage, they made contact. Free play.
Yeah.
Throw it on the outside. Caught, broken tackle, first down by Ricky Rollerson, who scored a touchdown in the first half.
That play ought to stand.
Should be offside on the defense because they didn't stop it. If they wouldn't have made contact, it would be no play.
Offsides. Defense. Penalties decline.
Take the result of the play.
Everybody just kind of froze there for a second. Oh, wait, we got a free play. First down pass over here. Nice effort. Busting to the outside there. Picking up
the tackle of Keon McGee. So Rollerson with a 14-yard gain. And Butler goes up the middle. He goes close to the 25-yard line. They'll give him the 24 for a pickup of 6.
You know, we were talking about the playoffs. Dunn beat St. Pius 21-18. And, you know, St. Pius came to that game averaging 56 points per game, about 600 yards of total offense. But they were held to 200 yards. And it was almost a negative rushing output for St. Pius.
Here's Butler again. And he'll be very close to first down yardage as he comes off the left side. They're going to move the sticks.
And I bring that up because that was a 21-18 victory and has a feel like this game. Low scoring, might have to play some tough defense down the stretch. Bodies flying on every play. Butler coming out.
Took a shot on that at the end of it. So they'll come in with Donald Trey Gamble. Number 28 is the running back. New set of downs to the 29-yard line. Fake the reverse, give it to Gamble. Over the right side, he'll pick up about 3 before he will be ridden down there. Tackle made by Grayson Murphy, who had the pick 6 early in the first quarter.
Down to 3:30 here in the third quarter. A lot of mistakes, but a pretty quick moving quarter.
2 receivers to either side on second down and 8. Ralph throws it, and Rollerson dropped it. Going to be the one-man screen on the outside. He had Keenan out there trying to block. And Rollerson turned his head just before the ball arrived. And that never works if you're a receiver.
So 3rd and 7 now. And if you're done, do you put it up in the air right here? 4 of 9 on 3rd downs.
How much confidence do you have in Gamble as opposed to Butler back there as the running back? And Ralph is going to throw. The lefty slings it far side for Rollerson. He's got it. No, it came loose at the very end. Keon McGee got just enough to rip it away. It went in. Looked like Rollerson was going to make a great catch on the sideline. But McGee, right at the very last instant, got the ball loose.
Yeah, had to throw this ball into the wind. And the wind just grabbed it, kind of held it up there. It kind of became a jump ball.
Had it there for a minute, and there it goes, right at the very end when he hits the ground.
Ricky Rollerson, a senior.
So now Littleton's going to have to punt, and the dangerous Broussard stands back inside his 40-yard line.
Kept it away from him for the most part.
Going for the sideline again. He'll hit at the 45 and take a sideways hop and go out of bounds between the 44 and the 45-yard line. Short kick, good field position for Bishop Lynch coming up when we return. 3:03 left in the third. Score remains 21-17 in favor of the Friars. 3:03 left here in the third quarter of the Division I TAPS Championship game. Bishop Lynch on top and Vince Erickson on the sideline.
Tom, it's been a really clean played game here, no injuries to speak of, but we have seen a couple of cases of cramping here in the last few minutes. You wouldn't think you would see that with the cold weather here, but it's not the cold, it's the intensity of the action, and sometimes those cramping can even come up because players are going so hard they need some hydration or things can cramp up. So I'll be looking at that as this game continues now to go toward the fourth quarter. Back to you, Tom.
Running play off the left side. For Mask, got about 3, but a flag is down, and Broussard had his hands out saying, I wasn't guilty of holding, but I think the officials saw differently.
Personal foul, face mask.
Oh.
Defense, number 4.
There you go.
50-yard penalty.
Well, Broussard was
Automatic.
right. He
First
wasn't
down.
guilty of holding. He thought they were throwing the flag at him. Let's see if we can pick up the face mask.
Yeah, watch the end of the play right here.
It was before when he broke out off the edge. You could see his head twist a little bit. So plus the face mask penalty, check the ball down to the 38-yard line in Dunn territory. Make it the 37-yard line. Run option, Mask again, will get a couple to the 35-yard line.
Takes a second to get those guards to pull over.
Over on the sideline, you see
Patrick Harris,
Stacy Connor getting loose. We might see a quarterback change here for Dunn the next time they have the ball.
Interesting. And keep in mind, they're going to have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter.
Second down, 8 for the Friars. And LaRoe is going to throw over the middle, double tip, triple tip, intercepted! Pulled in the secondary by Chevin Callaway. That ball went off 3 sets of hands before Callaway got it, before it went to the turf.
The cornerback number 1, Chevin Callaway, making a big play, but there is a flag
now.
down.
Wait a minute. There is a flag.
Personal foul, chop block, number 57 and 76. Penalties decline. First down.
The center and the left and the right guard guilty of the chop block. So the play's going to stand. They're going to decline this penalty. You see the throw. There's one hand. There's 2. There's 3. And there's Callaway saying, if you guys don't want it, I'll take it.
1, 2, 3.
And for Chevin Callaway, 3rd interception of the year. Comes at a great time for Bishop Dunne, as Lynch has had the ball on the plus side of the 50 this whole third quarter, but they haven't been able to do anything with it. 1:51 to play, and we've got a change in quarterback. Stacy Connor, number 7, is in for Dunne, and he'll hand it off to Gamble. Broke a tackle. Still fighting for yards. They'll finally blow him dead at the 25-yard line.
That's a good gain on first down when you're kind of pinned deep in your own side of the field.
Picked up 8 yards out to the 25. Clock approaching, 1:20 to play here in the third. Connor shifting people around. Butler is back in now at the running back spot. He's to the right. Fake to him, the one-man screen, Rollerson, and they've got it diagnosed. And I believe that's Grayson Murphy, who's had himself one heck of a ball game, going out there to make the tackle.
So Stacy Connor trying to shake things up a bit, throwing to the outside, but nobody fooled on that Lynch side.
Yep, you see number 15. He's had a great ball game for Lynch here. And now it's 3rd down and 3 as they lose a yard. Connor going to throw, zips it over the middle. In and out of the hands, the intended receiver, nearly intercepted. He was looking for Keenan. And making the late dive on the ball was Davis Peck.
Just tipped right there, should have been caught.
Yep. There you see Peck trying to chase it down. But another 3 and out for this Lynch defense. They have come to play here in the second half.
Say, some defense breaking out here in the third quarter, especially down to 37 seconds.
Broussard is sneaking up now. He's standing inside midfield because Littleton has not been able to really get these balls away, punting. High snap again. Littleton for the sideline. And it'll be fair caught at midfield by Broussard with 29 seconds left here in the third.
You can see that wind kind of wreaking havoc out there.
26-yard punt into the wind.
Hard to catch it, too. You almost want to just let it go instead of running the risk of fumbling it on that punt return.
So now from midfield, can Lynch take advantage of this field position they've had in the second half?
You just get this feeling like we've been playing on that side of the field the whole third quarter.
They've used the wind to their advantage, but they haven't been able to produce any points. Jet sweep Broussard. Block on the edge, stiff arms a man, runs through a tackle, has the first down at the 39-yard line. What a great run by Broussard. Finally brought down by Haley and Wilson.
Look how quick Broussard gets out to the edge. Jet sweep takes it to the outside, then drags a couple of guys about 3 or 4 more yards. That's where he got the first down.
Well, it looks as though Lynch is going to let the clock expire here in the third quarter. They'll have to work into the wind, but they'll start on the plus side of the 50 when the fourth quarter comes your way from Hewitt, Texas, and Panther Stadium. It's still Bishop Lynch 21, Bishop Dunne 17. The Taps Division I title at stake for the winner. And we'll have the fourth quarter after this. Back here to Panther Stadium, Hewitt, Texas. Tom Franklin, Jeff Power, and Vince Erickson, 21-17. Bishop Lynch with the lead as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. And here's Vince on the sideline.
Tom, there's some outstanding leadership on both sidelines here. For the Bishop Lynch Friars, we already talked about Richard Fawcett and his NFL experience. 2 of his assistants, Cedric Bonner, one of them, he played for the Redskins and the Raiders also. Bernard Ellison spent some time with the Chiefs and the Raiders. Those are 2 assistant coaches with NFL experience. They have also had someone that's played some football at USC, so outstanding leadership for the men in white. For the men in red, we've already talked about Kenneth Davis, the former TCU outstanding player who spent a little time in the NFL. He is Bishop Dunn's athletic director. So outstanding leadership not only for this game, but for the whole three-day experience of Taps football here at Midway. Back to you, Tom.
And you saw the first play of period number 4, a 14-yard run for Jair Moore. Gets him down to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. You almost have the feeling here if they can make this a 2-score game, Jeff, they can put it away. The way their defense played the third quarter. This is Mass this time, trying to go over the right side. Didn't find much, buried on top by Daniels. Daniels has had himself quite a ball game in the trenches for Bishop Dunne.
Dunn had 32 yards in the third quarter, and Lynch had 21 yards in the third quarter. Not much going on there.
Defense, 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 not to mention penalties as well. That was an ugly third quarter compared to the first half, which was a great first half of action. So here we go, 2nd down and 9. Start Broussard in motion. He's got a lead block. Great block on the edge by Mask. Broussard cuts inside and gets to the 19-yard line. What a great block by number 20. Jermaine Mask on the edge. We watch this again. Watch him as the lead coming out.
Mask has done a great job of blocking. That's what it takes. You've got a couple of backs who are used to working with each other, helping each other out. Here we go. So Mask takes that
right
first block.
There.
Yeah. That's how you block. Take the man's legs out.
He took Eric Collins, the outside linebacker, right off his feet. Late substitution for the Friars. 7 on the play clock. 3rd down and 4. Mask has got it right side, got the first down, and it'll go down inside the 10-yard line. Jermaine Mask blocks on one play, runs on the next.
One more time, down low angle. You see him coming as he makes the nice little cutback, picks up the extra few yards there. And now Tom is beginning to miss a little bit harder here as Lynch is going against the wind.
First and goal from the 9-yard line. Can they cash this in? LaRoe sets his team, brings the tight end in motion. They'll run this way. Mask bumps into a man, tries to escape and cannot. Thrown for a loss back at the 13-yard line. And a marker down. We're getting a face mask, I believe. Calvin Avery is upset, but I'm almost positive we had a face mask here. We had the line judge also pointing his hand toward the Friars, so I'm not sure.
Mask with 10 carries, 71 yards.
Now you see Patrick Harris.
No flag on the play.
They wipe it off. Whatever it was, forget about it. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Oh, there was a definite yank there by Avery. I thought I saw a face mask. The officials did not catch it. Instead, it goes for a loss of 4 back to the 13-yard line. Here's the weather update for you. Down to 49 degrees, feels like 44. Broussard in motion. This is what they scored the touchdown on at the start of the ball game, but not to be denied, but not to be fooled again. A lot of red jerseys over there to spill him for another loss back to the 17.
Yeah, Dunn doing a nice job making the adjustments since halftime, stringing that play out, and now it'll be a key 3rd and 16.
Boy, oh boy, you got first and goal at the 9, and now you're facing 3rd and goal from the 16. Do you dare put the ball up in the air?
Field goal.
Jagger LaRoe has only thrown it 4 times today. Oh, it's over his head! Back to the 40-yard line, and LaRoe just has to fall on the football. Oh my goodness! What a time for a miscue.
Taking more points off the board.
Warren Frigier, the center. Whoops!
All you can do is just fall on it at that point.
Yep.
Now they'll have to punt.
Call on your special teams.
Who would have thought? I mean, sitting on the 9, and now they're punting.
3 plays, minus 31 yards. Minus 4 running, minus 3 running. And minus 24 on a bad snap. So Garrett will try and pin Dunn deep to the near sideline. Great kick. Out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Just what the doctor ordered on special teams from Carson Garrett. We have a little bit of late skirmish. Involved for Bishop Lynch was Jack Bradley. But we get everybody separated and straightened out. So 7:40 to play. 21-17, just like we started the half. There you see head coach Michael Johnson with a talking to for his player, and that is Brian Williams.
Well, you know, they say defense wins championships. Both teams, it might just take a touchdown to win this game at this point, 21-17.
Defensive score might be the difference in this game. Running play on first down. This is Gamble. Stood up and turned back on the outside. Daniel Packard, the first guy to get to him. Then let help come and hold that to a gain of 3 to the 11-yard line.
So much talent, Tom, in the city of Dallas, and especially along that I-20 corridor. And these two teams, you think about a lot of teams like Cedar Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville, then you line up these teams like Lynch and Dunn. It's a lot of talent in South Dallas.
Running play. It'll be stood up at the 16-yard line. Jordan Butler will pick up 5 more. Be a 3rd and short here for Dunn, who could really use a 3rd down conversion.
Trinity Christian out of Cedar Hill, another one of those top-notch programs every year. It's misting pretty good now.
Yeah, you can see the waves kind of blow across in front of the lights across the way. Back to either shoulder. Give it up the middle, it's going to be close. Lynch thinks they've stopped Gamble shy of the first down marker, and if the line judge has got the spot here on the near side between the 17 and 18, they're going to be about a half a yard shy.
I think Jordan Butler, he wants that football, but you have to have maybe a timeout and discuss things here. We'll see. How about a measurement?
Yeah, we're going to get a measurement. We don't see that very often. But the stick looks like it's just touching the 18-yard line, and this ball is between the 17 and 18. They'll stretch out the chain, and you'll see it's a good half a yard short. They got to get right to that stripe to get the first down. So, does Michael Johnson, Myron Hawthorne roll the dice here? Deep in your own territory? You haven't been able to mount any offense. It's been a defensive second half. The answer is going to be no, as here comes the punt team. They're going to hope that Tucker Littleton can finally get a hold of one. He's been punting into the wind most of the night. Now he's got the breeze behind him. As the miss continues, the snaps have been the biggest adventure on punts here in the second half.
Yeah, it doesn't help when you've got that drizzle coming down.
Look how short Broussard is.
Oh, up back.
They wait for the fake.
They got it.
And they got it across the 20-yard line. Well, that's one way to do it. Give it to a big hoss. Number 32 is Roscoe Jones, the starting defensive end. High snap, he's got it. Two lead blockers. Runs over a couple of guys to get out of my way. I'm getting this.
Almost looked like that ball was destined for the punter, and Roscoe just jumped up and took it away.
4-yard pickup. Move those sticks. Keep the ball in possession of Dunn. Low snap. Connor rolling near side. Will have to keep. And he'll run out of bounds across the 25-yard line. Should give him the 26, which would be a 5-yard pickup.
It's a good run there by Stacy Connor. He is a junior.
Good coverage in the secondary by Lynch's defense. Gave him no place to go with the football, so he took what he could.
Alec Ralph got the start. Proved to be healthy enough.
Running play, and this is Butler. He'll go straight over the left guard and pick up 4 to the 30-yard line and leave him with a 3rd down and 1.
Ralph was 5 of 12 for 70 yards. Stacy Connor in now.
Just could never get it going. Connor, the junior, 51% of his passes for 1,688 yards, 21 touchdowns, but 16 interceptions. Give it to Butler. Have the first down, spins over through tackles and across the 40 to the 42 and maybe the 43-yard line before Grayson Murphy will bring him down, but a 12-yard pickup for Butler and a 1st and 10.
Dunn has run the football well. They have 260 total yards right now, 191 on the ground on 40 attempts.
New set of downs from the 42. Low snap. Connor keeps.
Oh.
And will stretch the ball out to about the 44-yard line before he'll go down. Michael Mendito makes the tackle.
I saw some broken ankles out there on the field. Nice little move.
He did a good job on a low snap that he pick up off the ground just to make something positive happen on the play. See, he's not awed by this stage. 2nd and 8. Has protection, directing traffic. Gonna tuck it and run again. Near sideline. Runs over a defender near midfield. I think that was Grayson Murphy again. They'll spot him at the 49 in Lynch territory and leave him with a 3rd down and 1.
I think that was Michael Johnson, his head coach, that came up at the end and said, "What are you doing? Just get out of bounds."
Here it comes.
Right here, he kind of holds up like he's going to go out. Then he goes head
head
on. That's a dangerous play. You don't want to do that.
Head to head, straight up the gut they go, and they'll get a first down. Butler on the quick handoff in the run. Give him 6 to the 43. And Dunn trying to work this ball down the field, perhaps for the game-winning score. They trail by 4. We're down to 3:20 to go. Butler again, he's got some room. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. This drive is over 4.5 minutes old.
12th play of the drive. Butler is checking out.
Well, he's had a bulk of the carries here.
Donald Gamble in now.
Gamble a little smaller, 28. Connor is going to keep it himself. Gets a block on the edge from Kepera. Will have the first down as Grayson Murphy makes the tackle, but not before he gets to the 31-yard line.
Needed to put that ball in his left hand, Stacey Connor.
And you want to have it on the outside. They gain 7 and a 1st and 10. You can see how this moisture is piled up on the field. Guys sliding around a little bit. 31-yard line, 1st and 10 for Dunn. They need a touchdown to take the lead. Gamble goes over the left side and will get inside the 30 to the 27-yard line for 4.
Down 4, field goal really doesn't do him any good. This has been a good drive, though.
2nd down, Gamble again, finds a hole, lowers his shoulder, should have the first down at the 20-yard line. Tackle made there by Harris, along with Peck. And the fans here on the near sideline are getting fired up. They can feel it. Down to 153 and counting. Gamble hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll be thrown back. Good penetration that time. Michael Mendetto and Gabriel Murphy got across the line of scrimmage, and Dunn's going to call a timeout with 1:40 to go. So we'll take the timeout with him. Bishop Lynch has led the entire second half by this identical 21-17 score. Their defense under pressure to try and keep Dunn out of the end zone. .140 to play, 21-17. Bishop Dunn trails, but they're on the move at the 19-yard line. 2nd down. Stacey Connor keeps, lowers his shoulder, gets inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4. They need to get to the 10.
This drive started on their own 8. Play 17 coming up.
And it started over 6 minutes ago. It started with 7:40 left. Connor again looking for a block. Cuts inside, dives inside the 10 and the 9. Should be a 1st and goal here with 1:08 to go.
Who knew the South Dallas Super Bowl would mean the state championship, and how fitting it would go down to the wire.
Ground and pound for Bishop Dunn. Can they finish it now? Here's Butler, and they got him at about the 8-yard line. Timeout again for Dunn. The linebackers, Landry Kershaw, one of the first in there. Chris Sigsby, the end. Timeout number 2 after a 1-yard gain for Butler.
Falcons with 1 timeout left, Friars with 2 timeouts left.
All right, let's take a look back here. Bishop Lynch fumbled snap on a big 3rd down play in the first half. Fall on the ball. Mistake on a handoff in the end zone results in a touchdown in the first half for Paul Favorite. Now here in the 3rd quarter, snap goes over the quarterback's head. They were facing 3rd and goal from out at the 16 and had to chase it down at the 40-yard line. Will those mistakes spell the difference in this ball game? That last one led to the punt to the 8-yard line that has led to this drive, which started nearly 7 minutes ago. It started with 7:40 left and at their own 8-yard line. They've got it now down at the Lynch 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Powerhouse running backs. And we're going to get a timeout called by Chuck Fawcett.
Lynch.
He was not expecting that formation. It's the first time that Dunn has shown that. Didn't think he had the right personnel, so does a smart thing. Call timeout, maybe adjust things, or at least go over how you play this particular formation to try and negate this run here on 2nd down.
Yeah, they had a man in motion, and he was kind of drifting to the left, so it looked like they were going to try to run to the left side.
LaQuantas Harrington, big tight end, 6'5", 235. He was up there, and also number 32 is in this ball game as well. That's Roscoe Jones. He's the guy who ran the fake punt on 4th down that kept this drive alive early on, deep in their own territory.
Yeah,
so they really put the load in here. You got Jones to the left shoulder, Harrington to the right shoulder, and the deep back is Butler.
Who wants it more?
Movement at the line of scrimmage. I think we're going to get a false start on the right guard, Malek Fugit.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, they called it on the center, but watch. I think it's the guard here who moves 73. Well, the center flinched first. Yep, center, he balked as well before the guard Fugit went. Fugit being the guard said, well, the ball moves, I got to move. So you can't fault him. It's on Peyton Mattis. So back him up to the 13. 2nd and goal. Change the formation. Blitz coming. Connor's going to throw for the end zone. Caught but out of bounds. Hawkins had it, but the ball was a little too wide. They're ecstatic here on the near sideline, not realizing he was out of bounds.
46 seconds left, 3rd and 13. Look at this play one more time. Clearly out of bounds, but great catch nonetheless.
Just threw it a little wide, but you can see he comes out well outside the boundary. Well, you know it's 4-down territory. 3rd and goal from the 13. Game on the line. Could you ask for a better finish? Running play for Butler. Trying to get outside. Brought down by Murphy. Back at the 14-yard line. And now Dunn's going to have to use their final timeout. 39 seconds to go. It'll be 4th and goal, and the game is in the line.
That's the final timeout of the half.
You know, fitting that Grayson Murphy would make that tackle right there. He's had a great game.
Look at him right there. You read the play. No, check that. That was Packard who was reading from the inside. There you see Grayson Murphy, the sophomore, 6'2", 180. Had 16 tackles against Prestonwood Christian last week in the semifinals. 117 on the season. Coming in. 4th down and goal from the 15-yard line.
It's a 20-play drive, 77 yards.
20 plays. That's crazy. And it all comes down to one play. If the Lynch defense wins this play, they win the game of the championship. If the Dunn offense wins this play, they will win the game of the championship. They have spread the field here. Trying to get the defense moving around. What will Stacy Connor do? He's going to throw. Looking for Hawkins. Near sideline. Goes up through his hands. Incomplete. Incomplete. And Lynch is going to win it. 34 seconds to go. No timeouts for Dunn.
Pandemonium on the sideline for Bishop Lynch.
Stacy Connor comes to the near sideline and slams his helmet to the turf. Knew he had his man and just did not connect on the throw. He was open. Hawkins couldn't make the catch. The coverage was from Jeremy Harris. And the celebration is on across the way.
Tears of joy on one side.
First thing when I asked Chuck Fawcett about your season, He said, my team fought hard every play, all 48 minutes, every game. Well, it paid off here in a championship. They started slowly, 5-5 in the regular season. He said we were 21 points away from being 9-1.
They made some mistakes. It looks like they're going to be able to overcome it. They've just got to simply snap it.
We showed you all those fumbles. We get penalty markers down, and now it's going to get a little chippy here at the end. And here's another flag. And this is disappointing because this has been one heck of a football game. These guys laid it all out on the line, and you can understand the emotions boiling over a little bit here at the end, but a little disappointing to see right here at the very end because it's been a great football game.
And Michael Johnson calling his team over, he's probably going to tell them exactly that. They all know each other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these guys have been
yeah,
playing football for a long time. You go back to Pop Warner, all that good stuff.
They definitely know each other.
Might just be offsetting here on the
Could be.
penalty.
It's been 13 years since Lynch has won it all.
We have multiple fouls on the play by both teams. Offsides. Defense, number 32. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 2. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 87. The unsportsmanlike penalties offset who enforced the 5-yard penalty for offsides.
Shane Haley and
Remains
Kenneth
first down.
West guilty of the unsportsmanlike conduct. Roscoe Jones, the defensive end, was the guy who was across the line. Ball gets marked out to the 20-yard line, but it doesn't matter. Victory formation one time, and you will become state champions. It can't feel any better than this.
And the clock
And
is
as we
ticking.
told you, a 13-year wait for Dunn is about to end. The Bishop Bowl, or Lynch rather, will end. There's the kneel down by Jagger LaRoe. And the Bishop Lynch Friars are the 2016 TAPS Division I champions with a hard-fought 21-17 victory over their arch rival, the Bishop Dunne Falcons, here at Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas. What a night, what a ball game. The celebration is on, and Arvince Erickson will get out there and try and bring over winning head coach Chuck Fawcett.
And who would have thought with all the offensive fireworks in the first half,
Yes, that we would have
17,
no
they wouldn't
points
score at all in the second half.
0 points total. Unbelievable.
Defense wins championships.
What an outstanding ball game. These young men are to be congratulated. They left it all out on the artificial surface here at Panther Stadium. And how about the senior class for Bishop Dunne and Bishop Lynch? Lynch goes out knowing that they beat their rivals, avenged a 28-21 loss during the regular season. And some of the Lynch players going up across the way to the bleachers to congratulate their fans that came over all the way. Made the trip down I-35 for the victory. Well, I don't have too many words left for this, Jeff. This has been one heck of a ball game.
Well, and a great scene here, too. And really, to be honest,
The sportsmanship being displayed,
Sure.
of course, at midfield.
that started on Thursday.
Yeah, started with their prayer and pasta meeting, and here the handshakes.
Here comes the drill team.
And now they're really going to celebrate. Look at him go here at the 30-yard line to the right. Student body is all over it. And after a 13-year wait, why not? Just look at him. As soon as Vince can lure the coach away from the mob scene, I think he's got him. Vince, take it away with winning coach Chuck
Coach,
Fawcett.
you said at halftime, what a game. Same score at the end of the game. What a game.
What a game. Huh. These kids, both teams played their hearts out. They, Bishop Dunne, got to tip your hat to them. They played their butts off all the way down to the end. I tell you, these kids here are special. They're special. They've had my heart going all year, and what a fitting way to end this thing.
You know what you were saying, that it's the first year you said you would be lying if you didn't think you had been here, but now that you're here, now that you're state champion, would I be lying in saying you just don't know quite what to say?
You know, towards when we made that run, it became a believer out of me, this team, and these fans. So at the beginning, when this first started, when I first stepped on the campus and I addressed the team, I told them that we were going to win the state championship, and I had already gotten the rings ready, and they thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy. Now, did I really believe that? A little bit. But, you know, we kept that theme the whole time, and what an end to a great story.
And what a great ending there when your defense comes with a great big stand there at the end. What were you thinking there as that last play was happening?
Well, they've given me being a defensive guy, they've given me a heart attack all year long. And like I told you before, you know, we've had 8 games that were, decided were 7 points or left. So, these are the cardiac kids for me. And to come up with a big stop like that at the end was just fitting.
State champion, Coach. I'll let you go enjoy with your team. Thank
State
you so much
champions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Right.
again. Let's bring on in one of the defensive wizards right now for Bishop Lynch. Gosh, I need my glasses. Name real quick.
Joyson Murphy.
Joyson, real quick, take us through that last sequence there and the 3rd and the 4th down and coming up with a huge stand the way you guys did.
We just had to get the ball back to our offense, nail it out for the victory. We had to get off the field. That's all I got to say.
Sure. What was it like out there? There's all kinds of hitting going on out there, rivalry game. What more could you ask for in a state championship than this?
It's perfect, absolute perfect game. The weather was great. That's what we wanted. We wanted it to be rainy, wet. We wanted it like that. That's perfect. It was a perfect game.
One last question. What kind of ring does state champion have?
A big ring. A big ring.
Yes, sir. Go enjoy it with your teammates, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank
You betcha. Absolutely. Tom, back to you.
All right, Vince, great job there on the sidelines. Jeff, if you don't dream big, you can't win big. And Chuck Fawcett coming in, and as he said, when he stepped on campus, said we're going to win a championship. Well, by gosh, they did.
Yeah, and Landry Kershaw, 11 tackles. I tell you what, hats off to that defense because Lynch knows their offense didn't put him in the best situation in the second half, but somehow they hung tough, put up a couple of goose eggs there in the second half, and they hold on to win it, 21-17.
Bend, don't break. A game that went over 7 minutes from the 8-yard line, got as close as the 9 before being turned away. And that's going to do it tonight here from Panther Stadium in Hewitt, Texas. And that's going to do it for the 2016 TAP State Championships. The Division I winners, the Bishop Lynch Friars, 21-17 over the Bishop Dunne Falcons. So for Vince Erickson, Jeff Power, and our entire crew did a great job tonight. Great camera work along the way. Tom Franklin saying so long and enjoy the holidays, everybody.